Hello, coming on the eve of the Virgo Full Moon to talk a bit about that transcendental axis between Virgo and Pisces as we end the zodiacal year at this time. Before that, I just wanted to comment on this full circle experience that I'm having. So the moon is in Leo right now. It's going to move into its full moon position in Virgo later this evening. But the last time I was here at the Met in New York City was June 2023. And at that time, I had not known consciously that I was about to conceive and become pregnant. So it was June 2023 when I visited the Met last, and I was really aligned with like such creativity at that time. Like, I had never felt more connected to like a day at the museum. I was writing poetry after visiting the Met in June 2023. I was crying, I was sobbing. About a week later, I had like this creative download of an entire tarot deck come into my mind, like image after image. I was rolling around in the grass with my 5-year-old nephew, like in such this like childlike and creative frequency. It was just like spilling out of me, and I had never really felt that way before. But little did I know at that time that I was about to conceive and become pregnant that night. Anyway, it's just really full circle as I find myself back here on the Leo moon at the Met, and it's almost, 9 months later now. So yesterday I was reading for a client a one-to-one birth chart reading, and his soul really embodied, I suppose, pure creativity. He, like anybody else who is a native born with natal Pluto in the 5th house. Well, Pluto itself is the soul, and the 5th house is in alignment most archetypally with the sign of Leo. And we really got to talking about him as a creative. And that makes a lot of sense, because anyone who's born with Pluto in the 5th house, Pluto represents what you already are, what you are already familiar with. And creativity was just something that person was so familiar with on a deep soul level. So it got me thinking about like creativity itself, and like how in tune I felt with creativity just the week before, the day of my conception. And it really made me, after that birth chart reading actually in particular, something kind of downloaded with me. And I feel like the evolutionary astrologer Jeffrey Wolf Green discusses this in his book Pluto, but it really just came to click in my consciousness in a bigger way. Like, where does this creativity come from? Like, I realized that throughout this pregnancy journey, like, I'm not the source of creativity. I'm just a channel for the creative principle, which is a universal principle. So we really aren't creativity itself or the source of it. We are vessels for the universal principle of creativity to flow through us at given times in our life, especially those with Pluto in the 5th house. At almost all times of your life, you may find. But anyway, Leo is a very creative sign. It's like so inner child oriented, but really what I wanted to talk about is this liminal space that is in front of us right now between tomorrow's full moon in Virgo. Every Pisces season there is a full moon in Virgo. 2 weeks later, after this full moon in Virgo, there's going to be a Pisces New Moon on the 10th of March. So the 2-week portal that presents itself to us now, like I said, it's a liminal space. It's a transcendental axis between Pisces, or Virgo and Pisces, I should say. So we're going to tap into the lunar energy of Virgo tomorrow. Later on this evening, I believe it's about 8:30 p.m. New York City time, that the sun will move into Virgo. And Then 2 weeks later, we'll tap into the solar energy of Pisces a little more. There's going to be a new moon in Pisces on the 10th, like I said. Every Pisces season, there's a new moon in Pisces and a full moon in Virgo. So this is a closing down ceremony of sorts. We are going to be beginning a new zodiacal year with the sun moving into its exaltation in Aries, and we'll be really getting the opportunity to embody a completely different kind of solar energy at that point. Before that, we're going to focus on what's coming up with the Virgo full moon. So Virgo is concerned with purification, and this is going to be an amazing full moon to declutter. Purification of the physical body, ritual and routine, that all comes up with Virgo. Whereas Pisces, the polar sign, is more concerned with purification of the soul. So if Virgo is concerned with physical, Pisces is concerned with the metaphysical, and it's through this axis, this threshold, this portal that's opening tomorrow with the Virgo full moon, that we're able to purify the physical, not just our bodies, our space, the energetics around us. Decluttering, like I said, is a great way to do this. I'm definitely on that decluttering wavelength right now as I'm kind of like nesting and preparing for the baby to come very soon. And then we've got a 2-week window leading us up to an amazing portal for manifestation, which is the Pisces New Moon. That's on the 10th of March. Before that, on the 8th of March, Mercury and Neptune will conjoin, meet up in the sign of Pisces. Mercury is all about our intellect, our communication, writing and speaking, so intentionality, I guess. And Neptune is transcendental love. It's the highest expression of the frequency of love that we can access archetypally through astrology and its symbols. So if this mercurial, down-to-earth kind of planet meets up with the planet of our wildest dreams, in a sense, are the most limitless frequency of love that can be found, it's going to be on the 8th of March, an amazing time to set intentions and manifest. I'm feeling like really like Neptunian foggy right now, if I'm honest with you. I'm not like sleeping the best at the late stage of pregnancy. The baby is using my bladder as a pillow, it seems, so I'm up a lot. So I'm a little bit like, I don't know, I remember the last time that I came to the Met, I felt like such a child, and like I really will never forget how creatively inspired I felt, like crying, writing poetry, like I said, downloading an entire tarot deck, just like image after image, concept after concept. And then it was within 24 hours that I began to create life inside me, co-create with my partner, of course, and with something bigger. I suppose that's the whole thing I'm getting at here. As we purify our physical and sort of with this Virgo full moon, shine a light on what in our life needs to be decluttered. So that's going to be a beautiful setting then to step into Pisces season more and more. Coming up, this little kid is just smiling at me so much, so it's so cute. We're going to be stepping in towards this kind of like transcendental, like getting closer to the metaphysical, getting closer to source, getting closer to how we know God, basically. That's what this pregnancy journey has really taught me as well, like you know, as well as that, like just having faith in the unseen, having faith in something bigger than myself. The Pisces themes of surrender and trust and deepening my faith over fear has been coming up for like the entire of my pregnancy journey. I also last June, when all of this was starting to align for me, started reading Women Who Run with the Wolves, which is like really got me tapped into this kind of like part of my feminine nature that kind of I hadn't really been in touch with too much. And it was perfect really, because it gave me the confidence, or it helped me kind of like unlock this wild woman archetype within me. Having more like of a autonomous birthing experience is my goal. I mean, yeah, like it's such an incredible experience. I know it, but it was just like, I innately knew from reading that book, so much resonated about like our intuition, our ability as women, and like how to find empowerment through that book is like a freaking portal itself. I really recommend it. Just finding empowerment through accessing that like inner feminine wisdom. Virgo and Pisces are deeply yin and deeply feminine archetypes too. Like I said, with Virgo full moon, we're going to be purifying our physical space, purifying the energetics around us, decluttering, and basically creating a sacred container. That sacred container, I feel like I'm just speaking to kind of like for myself a little bit here, just like finding myself as like this sacred container. Honestly, like coming into this experience of like entering the cosmic womb with Pisces season, the baby about to be born, maybe around that Pisces new moon, I'm not sure, but it could be any day. So just like really feeling like purifying myself and my surroundings. I think tomorrow I'll upload the Virgo March reading as well, where I recorded that like maybe a week or two ago, but I'm pretty sure I spoke in that Virgo reading about spaciousness. So I think that the idea that came through the tarot for the Virgo March 2024, but maybe we can all tap into this collective energy right now as we are under the Virgo full moon, or just about to be. Spaciousness, energetically and physically, can be useful because it helps us to clear the way for our desires to come through, and how they can be actively manifested when we declutter, when we kind of purge. And purge is a little bit more, I guess, Plutonic, Scorpionic kind of terminology. Virgo's a little bit more I don't know, there's a little bit more of structure, rhyme and reason to it, and kind of, I guess it's Mercurial Virgo itself, so there is a bit more of that intentionality, like having a plan and kind of tackling things piece by piece. So that's what's coming up, and we can work on that over the next few days under the Virgo full moon. And then possibly as we near towards the 8th of March with the Neptune and Mercury alignment in Pisces, it's just going to be a very powerful time to set intentions and manifest. Then there will be the new moon in Pisces on the 10th. Completely perfect and magical time to align yourself with your hopes and dreams for the next year ahead. And if that is just to kind of feel closer to source, to kind of feel more of a sense of interconnectedness and wonder and faith and trust, this is going to be a really positive time and powerful time to do that. But I think first we need to focus on the Virgo axis, on that transcendental sort of leap that we're going to make forward towards the end of Pisces season, decluttering and purifying our space and the energetics, our body. That's really pivotal. And then just, yeah, your wildest dreams, set the intentions around the Pisces new moon. And then there'll be the vernal equinox, there'll be the sun moving into Aries, beginning the zodiacal new year, where seeds are sown and initiations are really kind of coming into a more dynamic and fiery activation. And then we've got the eclipses. So this is really the last like lunation cycle between the full moon and new moon before the set of eclipses that are coming up on the 25th of March in Libra and the 8th of April in Aries. And you know, some astrologers will sort of advise, and myself included, I feel like so Neptunian right now, I'm like hazy AF. Ooh. Yeah, it's the insomnia, probably a little bit of that. Some astrologers, myself included, would probably say, you know, take a step back. Don't sort of manifest with eclipses. You can and you can't. You can do whatever you want, honestly. But just to make note that this lunation cycle between the 24th of February Virgo full moon and the 10th of March Pisces new moon is the last set of kind of pivotal lunations before a set of eclipses. So it might be nice to just use this energy now. Virgo is so associated with routine and ritual, like I said. Pisces is about dreams and hopes and wishes. So yeah, like a routine, a ritual to incorporate our hopes, dreams, wishes for the future. That's what that sounds like to me, or our dreams for the present. Anyway, thanks for watching. live from the Met.